understand what that means. The
That's
ability
what
to
freedom
influence
looks
your
like.
network. No, well, okay, fine.
Do you know what free and
I
open
have a
source
comment.
means? You know how Bitcoin's free and open source? The free and open
Fantastic.
part means please copy it and make it better, and then we'll adopt some of the
Cool.
changes in.
Cool.
Which I believed that
So
story until I found out it was false. You're never going to adopt anything. Which is why you don't have on-chain exchange. You don't have anonymity. Everyone that tries to use anonymity in Bitcoin gets wrecked. The poor people that had 1.2 billion that they stole from Finex, they couldn't even launder it properly because you guys don't have anonymity in your system. But if they'd used Tornado Cash with ZK snarks, I bet they wouldn't have got caught.
We shouldn't have anonymity on the base chain anyway.
What?
Sorry, Alex?
Spencer, you go. Spencer, you continue.
Okay, all right.
People that kept their private keys on the cloud. Like, what are you talking about, bro?
No, they had multiple failures. That was just one of their failures. They also failed at the mixing level. And if you don't want their reference for failing at the mixing level, I could give you... Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
No,
Having
not really.
ZK snarks technology for anonymity in the protocol is safer than ring signatures with hoping a bunch of guys are in your anonymity set. They're not colluding.
That's gonna create another fucking angle or another vector for a potential problem.
No,
Okay? So,
better and
yes, it will.
better and worse software exist, and ZK snarks are superior to ring signatures. Fact. Period. There's no arguing.
That creates a hard fork. So that presupposes
What?
the idea that someone implementing that on Bitcoin on the fucking base layer presupposes.
That's right.
that
You'll
someone has
never
the
have it
authority
because you
to
guys have
change
no
it.
roadmap because
Correct.
your stuff sucks, but everyone else has it.
No, it doesn't.
Because we have
Okay,
EVM.
hold on, let me finish.
We have turn completion.
Exactly, and that's a bad thing.
No, it's
That's
not.
exactly why you're going to end up with fucking problems that you can't predict. Because
Why do you have two inflation bugs and Ethereum has zero? Tell me, software guy. Why does Ethereum have bug bounty program and you don't? Why does Ethereum have 10,000 developers and you have like 5? Because your stuff sucks.
Ethereum needs to pay people to fucking influence and change the rules, right?
No, they don't.
Let me just.
I'm doing it for
wanna touch
free.
on something you mentioned earlier. I want to mention something earlier. So you mentioned, dropping.
Do you see Bitcoin ever reaching this mythical 100K that everyone told me I'd have for Christmas?
Yeah, it will. I think Bitcoin will go 100K, sure. But it's just going to get there slowly. And
Just
after
gonna
a
dump
sick,
first?
gross dip. Yeah. People need the opportunity to sell the bottom. All these guys that paid $1 million for JPEGs need to have the opportunity to lock those losses in. You bought a JPEG for $1 million, you didn't even get the JPEG. You got a serial number loosely related to it. Some centralized server tells you whether you still have it or not. If it goes offline, where's your JPEG? It's not uploaded to the chain. Where's your JPEG? If OpenSea goes offline, where'd your JPEG go, bro? It's not even on a blockchain. It's a joke. So, and guys that bought 69K Bitcoin, and like Michael Saylor and Elon have to have the chance to sell the bottom too. These guys have never sat through a real dip. They don't know what a dip looks like. They just got here. Hey guys, I'm here to fix everything. I just got here. Noobs. You want to see what dips look like? Now you're finding out what a dip looks like. Now you're down 50%. Now you know what a dip feels like. Michael Saylor's, I think, dollar cost average is negative now. I think he's at a loss now. It's going to be hard to on-ramp new money when you're at a loss. It's hard to do it. I have to look down at my phone every once in a while to see when it's crashed because it doesn't alert me. It doesn't tell me. So yeah, I think Bitcoin will go up, but why do you care? Ethereum overperformed Bitcoin by 3x.
I never want to buy it again.
It's garbage.
So I made a claim on a little fun hexagon stream tonight that I don't see it in my lifetime, and I don't want it.
Do you want to wait hours for confirmation? I've waited 3 hours for a single confirmation before. And a single confirmation is useless. You need at least 3 at some exchanges, 6 at other ones. You're like, hey, what's this crap? Useless. And it's cost, $8, $10, $20 to send, depending. And so you have downside equal to Ethereum, but upside 3 times lower. Why would you ever buy Bitcoin instead of Ethereum? No brainer, you buy the Ethereum. And then why would you ever buy Ethereum instead of Hex if you care about making money? If you care about upside, right? You need some Ethereum to pay for the fees, but other than that, if you care about price appreciation, which I care about, I don't know about anybody else.
And why would I buy Ethereum if I care about the environment? It could be years until we see some kind of ETH 2.0.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, Vitalik was on somebody else's live stream saying that he could see ETH 2.0 being done in 6 years.
Yep.
From now. Okay. But I think that statement to qualify it was all of it being done. And then went straight down right after. Everybody wrecked. Except me. I'm doing great. I'm doing awesome. People to listen to me. Can you imagine being able to sell the top and then buy a dip in Hex. Oh my God, what a privilege that would be, right? Like, what a wonderful thing. Oh, I love it. Absolutely love it. So what else do we got going on here? So this is, I'm explaining to you why. Now, by the way, how important was the demand that Grayscale generated? Massively important. They make $200 million a year in fees. In fees. Their 2% override that they charge in fees just to hold everybody else's money, they make over $200 million a year. They might make $600 million a year. There's a lot of money in that ecosystem. And so when that disappears and all your institutional demand, now look at the institutional guys. The institutional guys, they're stuck, right? They're stuck. They have to decide, well, do I want to buy 30% off discounted Grayscale Bitcoin? Or do I want to buy spot Bitcoin and pay 50% more? Because that's the math. If you save a third, it's the same as paying 50% more. Let me do the math for you. Something's $100, you get a third discount. It drops to $67. Or you could, really? Is this how hard it is to do math on stream? Now, if you've got a $67 thing, and instead you have to pay $100, that's a 50% increase, because 37 is half of 33 is half of 67. So you could either getting a third off is the same as not having to pay 50% more. Is how that math works. So like, yeah, Bitcoin's doomed, and you're going to continue to see Bitcoin go down as long as that discount exists. Because why would institutional guys that don't have a choice anyway and have to buy that stuff anyway find some way to go pay 50% more instead of just taking the third discount? They wouldn't. And so they keep selling it down. And unfortunately, Ethereum is directly, exactly tied with Bitcoin. And it's actually overperforming a little bit to the downside. A little bit. Like a tiny bit. So let's go look at some charts real quick. By the way, coins move at exactly the same time. Sorry if you already covered it. Yeah, it's called Hart's Law. I coined it. The prices of assets that trade versus each other move with each other because they're interchangeable and they're bonded by their liquidity. And so if you can exchange a Bitcoin for an Ethereum at a certain rate and Ethereum goes up in value, then Bitcoin has also gone up in value because they're interchangeable with each other. And if you're holding Ethereum and it's interchangeable with Bitcoin and Bitcoin goes up in value, then Ethereum also goes up in value because they're interchangeable with each other. And so those relationships can break when there's not enough liquidity to bond them compared to what the market force wants to do. And so the market can execute its will to shift the pairing, to shift the rate that the two things exchange at, but that takes active effort from the market. And so, like, for instance, if a big bid comes in and moves the price up, it eats all the sell orders. And then if the price goes back down, like by market orders, there's just a huge gap. And people have to manually refill in the sell orders that were washed away by the big wick. And that effort of needing to change the order book, it means that your default position is kind of the two things that are tied together tend to be tied together. They're tied together by their liquidity, and so their prices move together. So if for instance, if each pair of my underwear was worth $1 million, and then some guy came along and it was like, I think Richard's underwear are worth $1.1 million now. Am I making a bad analogy here? This is a terrible analogy. I'm going to give up on this one. So basically, it's just that the prices of things that trade versus each other mean that they both tend to go in the same direction because they're bonded by their liquidity.